One of our three deceivers was almost cast on a reality TV show. You can tell us who you think it is by voting along in the chat. Let's find out who's telling the truth and who is a chump. Welcome to Chump, everybody, the Rooster Teeth game show all about lying and deception. I'm your host, Jeremy Dooley, and this episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect yourself today. Oh, I got choked up. I'm so excited about ExpressVPN. You can head to expressvpn.com/chump to protect yourself today. And now it's time to introduce our liars, our deceivers, our little bastards. Starting with deceiver number one, Drew Saplin.
Oh, hi.
There it is. Deceiver number two, Larry Matavina.
Oh, did you think I was Andy Cortez? You got jumped.
No, that's this guy. Deceiver number three, Andy Cortez.
This fucking guy, dude. Come on. Jesus
Only
Christ.
two people can suss out whether or not they're telling the truth or lying. The first being today's contestant. I can't talk today. Eric Fodor. There he is.
Yay.
Because it's Eric Week. We all know it's Eric Week.
Guys,
and we're
welcome to Everyone
it.
Shut Up. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. Welcome to Eric Week. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is really incredible stuff. I will be on Kinda Funny later this week, probably Friday. Tune in. Drew left.
Drew's gone.
Drew's back. So tune in and check me out on Kinda Funny Friday morning.
No, you won't. You won't be.
The other person who can suss out whether or not they're telling the truth or lying is you, the audience, voting along at home using hashtags within our chat. Remember, you can change your vote at any point during the question phases, but don't spam the same answer more than once. It won't give you more votes. You can just change it if someone convinces you some other way. So, welcome, everybody. Thanks for being on the second to last episode of the season. Much appreciated.
Wow. Very happy to be here,
right.
Jeremy. Thanks for the invite, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I
thanks
mean,
for
why
coming.
are we taking a break? Do we run out of liars or what happened?
Well, I mean,
we
we ran
didn't
out of
take a
liars because
break.
I'm
Wait.
here, so.
Well, someone might have canceled, but we still like having Larry here. We do like, we always know Larry's there for us. He's always there. Let's start things off with a game called What's in Your House? In this game, our three deceivers will each be describing a bizarre item that is in their house. Eric will then question them about each of these items after they give a one-sentence description, and he can question them up to my discretion until I tell him to move to someone else. Two of them are making up these bizarre items in their home, and one of them actually has the weird item. It's up to Eric to determine who actually has the item. And audience, you're voting on who actually has the item as well by using hashtags in the chat. Hashtag Drew, hashtag Larry, or hashtag Andy to say who has the mystery object. So, without further ado, let's hear about these items. Starting with Drew. Drew, what is the bizarre item in your house?
I have a bat skeleton and a taxidermied bat together.
Bat skeleton and a taxidermied bat. Larry, what is in your house?
I have a little ode to my late grandfather that includes his glass eye.
All right, a little ode, including a glass eye. And Andy Cortez, what is in your house?
I have a old Coca-Cola bottle from the 90s Dallas Cowboys when they won the Super Bowl.
A Coke bottle from when the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl. All right, Eric, you can start with whomever you'd like. And who do you want to start with?
I want to start with Drew and his suspicious two-bat situation.
All right, the dynamic duo, the dual bat. All
I'm
right.
only lying today,
Eric,
by the way, Eric.
Yeah,
He
I
did
just
tell us
don't.
that.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit you with some questions about your bat situation because I don't know if I believe that you have a bat skeleton and a taxidermized bat together.
It's the both.
That
It's
seems
the both.
seems so weird to have both. Why do you have both? Why don't you just have one?
They're part of a unit. It was sold
They're
to me.
part two. The two bats were they like
piece.
married?
They
What?
might have been. I don't know.
What?
There might have been a couple. It was an art piece done by a friend.
The art piece is two dead bats.
Yeah, she's a taxidermy specialist, and I got it as a wrap gift on a show we did for Rooster Teeth.
You got two. Did anyone else get any bats as a gift?
No, nobody else got bats as a gift.
Okay, but did people get other animals, like other dead animals stuffed with stuff or whatever?
No, I just got really excited about it, and then the producer purchased it for me because I did such a good job at the show I was directing. I was directing the show. I was directing the show,
guys,
and I was like, "Hey, I like these bats."
That's how we know. That's how we know it was a lie. That's how we know it was
because I was doing a good job. Sure, fine,
Drew did
fine,
such
Eric,
a good
fine.
job that somebody bought two bats for him. I think if you ever did a good job, I'd buy you one bat maximum. That's two bats.
Well, no, to
crazy.
be clear, let me clarify. It's one taxidermy bat, and the other one's a skeleton of a bat. That's what I said. So it's not two
Eric.
whole bats, Eric. Duh.
No, I understand. I get it. It's two fucking
It's really
bats,
like a
though.
It's more like a bat and a quarter. Because it's just the skeleton.
Listen, no, we're moving on.
No, you keep saying that it's just the skeleton. I understand.
Of one bat.
No, I get it. And then you have a whole other bat.
It's two.
This is crazy. I don't, Jeremy.
right.
I don't know about this
All
bat
right.
situation.
That's what you got. Let's move on to either Larry or Andy. Who do you want to question next?
I'm gonna move down the line. Larry, I gotta ask you about this glass eye.
Yo, what's up?
Whenever you're ready, go for it.
How old was your grandpa when he died?
He was in his 80s.
Oh, and he had a glass eye for like his whole life, or just like?
Well, he was in the Air
sometimes,
Force
or-
during World War II, and I'm guessing one of the bad guys, hopefully not friendly fire, shot his eye out. So the whole thing is kind of like a memorial to my grandfather in World War II. So it's got like photos of him and his war buddies. It's got like little medals and stuff, Purple Heart for getting his eye shot out. But it also has the eye in there because he's dead. He's not using it anymore.
He's dead?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, he's dead. It would be really weird if you had the eye and he was still alive, like he needed it, and he's just like, "Oh, God damn it, it's at Larry's house."
In fairness.
Fuck.
Like, could you imagine if you had
My
your living
condolences.
grandpa's glass eye?
My condolences, Larry.
I mean, I'm sure he could have gotten like a second one, and that was just an old one. But no, this is one he's currently not using.
Does he? I don't think he's using any. Does it look like an eye, or is it like a cat's eye, or is it like
there's kind
a
of two
dragon?
different kinds of fake eyes. So there's the ones that are like the whole ball that you like pop in the thing, and then there's the ones that are kind of more of like the almond shape, where you just kind of put it over the eye. And his is more of the almond shaped kind. That's how they kind of fit it in the thing. You don't have to have this giant piece of glass with the eyeball in it.
That's interesting. I could tell Larry's a liar because he's using his dead grandpa as a story. So I can tell he's lying.
Dare.
I can tell he's lying. So far, we have two liars. So far,
All right. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that leaves.
So do you even need to hear from him?
I
go for number
absolutely
three.
need to hear from Andy and his 1990s Coca-Cola bottle from probably the 92
93.
Cowboys? 93
93.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, Eric, go for it. You're on a
Okay.
roll.
All right, Andy, where do you keep your Troy Aikman Coca-Cola bottle?
I don't have it really. It's not Troy Aikman, but I don't really have it stored anywhere in particular. It's just in boxes in my closet, along with a bunch of other things that I always mean to put up on a shelf, and I just never get to it. Because again, I go through this thing, Eric, where I'm like, any day I might need to move out. But it's been like this for about 2.5 years here in San Francisco.
That's really weird because before we even started the show today, you were talking to Larry about worrying about him having to move out suddenly. Yeah. And this is a very real anxiety for you.
It's very real. It's very real. Yeah.
So you just have a whole bunch of stuff that you're sentimental about, but you never do anything with and you leave in a closet.
Yeah. So I have a lot of like a lot of more recent toys, but there's still a lot of shit in my closet that I just haven't busted out. A lot of old Nintendo things, a couple of Spurs championship items, a couple of Dallas Cowboys championship items.
And you qualified it as a toy, which makes me think that you're lying. So, interesting move to put that out there as a liar. I think
it's along with there's a bunch of shit in my closet. You know, it's a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, I bet there's 2 bats and a bat skeleton or whatever too. Yeah, whatever. Liar. Hey, Jeremy, I think I'm done with my questions
Eric,
now for all 3 of these liars.
I've never had a contestant before. While questioning everyone, tell them if they're lying or telling the truth, and then say, "Host, I'm prepared to move on."
They're all. What do we do? It's 3 liars. There's 3 people lying right now. Oh boy.
Audience, last chance to change your votes. Eric, I mean, you've kind of talked us through what you're thinking the whole way through, in that you think all 3 are lying.
Yeah. I'm doing the math right now, and I'm putting it all together. I have a beautiful mind, and I'm really I gotta suss a lot of this out. Drew and his 1 1/4 bats. I don't know, pretty crazy. Larry and his dead grandpa is a story. I mean, a likely story to be like, oh, he obviously can't pick me as a liar because my dead grandpa. And then Andy's such a Cowboys fan. I believe it. However, he's like, well, I don't have recent toys, and it's like, is Coca-Cola bottle a toy? What are you? What is this?
No. The recent toys are back here.
I'm
all
not
the other old shit in my closet
you anymore,
Good.
sir.
Yeah,
this isn't kind of funny. This isn't KFAF or whatever. This isn't your show. This is my show, baby. This is Eric Week, and I'm here to take.
It really is, and I'm loving
this. This is Eric Week, and I'm going to be on Kind of Funny this Friday. We have funny friends, or what's the show that Greg does?
All right, audience, we're locking in your vote. You guys are locked in. No more changing your votes around. Eric, we're going to need a locked in vote from you. Who has the actual item here? One of these is real.
I want desperately for Drew to have the item. I really want Drew to have the item because I want him to go, and here are my bats. However, I don't think it's him. I think that it is Andy who has the Coca-Cola bottle, because when somebody emailed him and said, hey, do you have a weird item? He didn't look at the email until 15 minutes before the show, and then he went, oh, fuck, I have this Coca-Cola bottle. So that, to me, is the most believable of all the stories.
Man, Eric's getting deep in this. All right, so you're thinking Andy.
Rest my case!
Okay, I'm going to take that as a lock-in. Let's lock in Andy is having the item. All right, before we reveal, audience, who do you think has the actual item here? Which of these is real? Larry in the
Larry,
glass
you tricked him.
eye.
Wow.
Larry, you tricked him.
Larry, you tricked him. Larry, you tricked him. All right, well, instead of me just saying who has the actual item, the person with the item will hold it up. I'll count down from 3, and on reveal, they'll hold up the item in question. So let's see the true item in 3, 2, 1, reveal.
And here are my bats.
There's the
I've never been so happy to be wrong. That's great.
Wow.
Show us again. Why'd you put it away? Show me the bats.
You want to see the bats more?
Go back
There
to
they
bat
are.
full screen. Show me the bats. Wow. Look at
God.
those.
That is
They
what
just
that is.
They're swinging. They keep swinging.
Yep. Dude, they're on like a pendulum.
Let me find it.
Oh,
Hold
look how
on. There's a
natural
little,
the ground is.
What is
There's a rooster and some teeth because it was a Rooster Teeth show.
Wow.
Wow.
That is really something. That's fun.
beautiful. Which means the deceivers get 2 points there for fooling both the audience and Eric in different ways.
I'm fine with that. We got to see the bats.
The bats was great. The audience went for a glass eye.
I knew
is
you
nice.
can't trust Larry. You can't trust
Audience,
Larry.
minus 100 points. Audience, get out of here. Minus 100 points for all of you, dude.
And the Coke ball. 15 minutes before the show, looked around for a Coke ball.
How believable is that, though? Like, doesn't that feel like, oh, that's absolutely
So
what happened?
believable.
Yeah,
You were pretty
100%.
dead on. You were pretty dead on.
This episode of Chump is brought to you by Bespoke Post. If your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time it's full of boring junk. Utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons, but once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked, and that's because of my box of awesome from Bespoke Post. I got an excellent Damascus steel blade in one of my boxes of awesome. It's super useful. I take it camping with me. Very sharp, very useful. It's great. I love it. Bespoke Post sends guys only the best stuff every month, and no matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, and outdoor gear, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code CHUMP at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code CHUMP for 20% off your first box. Thank you, Bespoke Post.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, a lot of points can be made up in this next game, though, which is called Pushing the Envelope. I don't know where this show is going now. I don't know where it's on the road to. In this game, I've got 3 true facts about our deceivers. I'm going to shuffle them up and redistribute them, so they might get their own fact or they might get someone else's. Eric then gets to question each deceiver for 60 seconds about the facts they've been given. If it's theirs, they tell the truth. If it's not, they make up the answers to Eric's rapid questions. So, audience, you work a little differently. We'll get to it in a second. Let's go down the line and distribute our facts, starting with Drew. The true fact about Drew Saplin is that Drew used to go around town dressed in a gorilla costume.
That's correct.
Just go around town dressed in a gorilla costume.
Interesting.
Larry once rode his bike 450 miles in a week when he was 11.
That's me, old Larry 450.
Larry 450, they call him. And Andy's friend committed a hit and run with Andy in the passenger seat. So a confession there. We have a confession there.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
Those are our facts. Now, audience, we're giving you one fact in particular to vote on. And I'll be honest, I don't even remember which one it is until the graphic comes up.
All right. That's what I like. Pre-production, baby. Let's see that graphic.
There it is. Oh, there was the gorilla. Okay, I thought it was the gorilla. So, audience, you're telling us who actually used to go around town dressed in a gorilla costume. Drew is claiming that it is him, but was it Drew actually? Was it Larry? Was it Andy? Use the hashtags accordingly. But we won't really know until we hear from Drew himself. But Eric, who do you want to start with on this one?
I'm gonna start left to right. I'm gonna start with Drew.
Starting with Drew. Okay, Drew, who used to go around town dressed in a gorilla outfit. Eric, whenever you're ready, 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, set, go.
Okay. Hey, Drew, why did you do that?
It was part of a spirit committee for my high school.
And where did you get the gorilla costume?
The costume shop in Tulsa.
Interesting. Okay. Costume store. Okay. And how often would you wear the costume?
It was once a week because it was for Friday night games.
Rolled his eyes. Okay. And what would happen while you wore the costume?
I would get very hot. It was like a sign spinning job. So it was like you'd go around to local businesses and like make a big ruckus about the game that night, get everybody amped for it.
Sign spinning for high school. Very believable. And where are you from originally, Drew?
Oklahoma.
Oh, interesting. I think it's all starting to come together for me, the person who will catch you in your little lie, Drew. You think you can spin a web, but I truly am the web spinner. Call me the Spider-Man for today. You are caught in your own web of lies.
15 seconds of self-promotion.
Yeah.
Also,
Yield your time, bro. God.
Eric, I thought for the last 15 seconds you're going to say you're going to be on Kind of Funny this Friday.
Well, that's I'm waiting for you. You're last, buddy. You just wait.
Okay.
Oh, damn. I also love how Eric was going, I'm going to catch you in your little lies as the bats are next to Drew. In frame. All right. So, Eric, are you continuing down the line?
Oh, I'm continuing with Larry. That's right.
All right, Larry, 450. So 450 miles in 1 week. Eric, 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Rode your bike 450 miles, huh, Larry?
Sure did. I used to be a lot thinner than this. So let me set the stage for you. It's 2002. I'm on the cusp of pubescence. I've just seen Forrest Gump. And so I decide, like Forrest, that I want to go traveling as far as I can. I'm only 11, so I can only go so far. That is the famous Northwest Indiana Erie Lackawanna Trail, which from my house back in old Griffith, Indiana, I could make a 15-mile out to Crown Point and another 15 miles back, 30 miles. I would do this twice a day, and then do that for 7 days. It's about 420 miles, and then at the end of it, broke my arm, and that's how I got this little scar over here, which is why I stopped doing it. Also, super tiring.
Interesting. I had a lot of very good questions during that segment. I think everybody will find. And I will say, Larry, I don't trust you.
Oh, God.
Well,
all right.
I also have written on the top of this paper, does Jeff have toe tattoos? I don't remember why I wrote that, but I feel like that's a good question.
It's a good question. And
you can ask me. You can ask me.
Okay, that could be one of your questions to Andy. So yes, Andy, the final one, who was his friend committed a hit and run with him in the passenger seat. You have 60 seconds to question Andy about this. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Andy, does Jeff have toe tattoos?
No.
Oh, very interesting. So what shows air on Kind of Funny on Friday? Oh, interesting. Can't even think of the schedule. Wow.
We're always fluctuating. We're a very versatile, flexible company. Yeah.
I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about who
it's usually
screencast.
Usually screencast, where we just talk about movies and Netflix and stuff. Yeah.
And that's a show with guests, I'm guessing.
No.
That's not a show with guests. You've never had a guest on that show ever. There's never been a guest on that show, Andy.
It's always just the Kind of Funny crew. Yeah, that's correct.
There's never, not once has there been a guest.
There's been a guest. There's been a guest.
That's interesting how I can. I got it. No, I don't even need the last 2 seconds. I don't even need the last 2 seconds.
Oh, God.
Shit.
I don't know what you want from me, guys.
So who goes around in a gorilla costume? You can vote with hashtag Drew, hashtag Larry, or hashtag Andy. Chat, it's up to you.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's Eric Week. It's Eric Week.
It's Eric Week.
Eric.
Yeah.
So Andy claimed that his friend committed a hit and run with him in the passenger seat.
Right.
60 seconds on the clock. You can question him about this story. 60 seconds. Ready, get set, go.
Okay, so there have been guests on that show before. That's interesting. So what you're telling me is that there is someone who books talent for Kind of Funny.
I mean, it's usually Greg Miller. We don't have.
Okay, so you can have him email me. That's fine. Just have him email me and I'll be on. It's not a big deal. Like, I'm available.
Okay.
My Friday's pretty open right now. So,
Bernie,
if you guys want to talk about like, yeah. So if you guys want to talk about like Extraction, I just saw that. It's not a big deal. Whatever.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, I can talk about that. I watched the trial of O.J. Simpson thing. That's something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he guilty?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll have to wait and see. I'm excited.
Yeah, yep, and you can find out when you watch Kind of Funny this Friday with me as a guest on Screen Caps or whatever it's called. Hey, Andy, were you really in that hit and run or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think I yield the rest of my time.
In my frustration, I broke my green screen. It's decimated. It's destroyed. So I'll try to fix that later. Anyways,
I think I got all the information that I needed, and I think the chat probably has made a really good decision about the gorilla costume. Personally,
chat, for some reason we're getting low on time, so we're gonna lock you in.
Wow!
on who was in the gorilla outfit. So the gorilla suit, it was Drew claimed that was him. We heard the story from Drew. Was it actually Drew? Was it Larry? Was it Andy? So we're locking in your votes right now. I was watching the chat. You guys seem like you're pretty sure. But Eric, for you, we need to go down the line, one at a time. And you just need to tell me if they were telling the truth or if they were lying about their story. And we're starting with Drew, who claims to have gone around town in a gorilla suit. Was Drew telling the truth or was he lying?
No, Drew, notorious liar. I say Drew was lying. Drew's a liar.
You think Drew is a liar? You want to lock that in?
Lock it in!
Lock in Drew as a liar. All right, we have Drew locked in as a liar. Moving on to Larry, 450 miles in 1 week when he was 11. What are you thinking, Eric?
Get the fuck out of here, Larry. Larry's a liar. Larry's a liar. Lock it in.
Lock in Larry as a liar. All right. Now, this is a big question mark. We've got Andy, who was the passenger in a hit-and-run vehicle. Eric, is he lying or is he telling the truth?
I think Andy's telling the truth.
You think Andy's telling the truth? And lock it in. I was going to say, any basis for that? He just put it in there.
Well, he told me that Greg Miller was going to email me, and he has to be a truth teller in order to say that. So
that's a great point. All right. Let's go ahead and see who the audience thought went around town in a gorilla suit. Larry, they went for Larry again. Crowd favorite.
They think I'm some kind of freak.
I think they know you're some kind of freak and some kind of liar.
So let's go down the line here, starting with Drew, who claimed to go around town in a gorilla suit. Eric thought he was lying, and I can reveal that Drew was lying. You were correct.
Wow.
Yeah, you were totally
way to go,
correct on that one, Eric.
Wow.
On to old Larry, 450. Claimed he rode his bike 450 miles in 1 week when he was 11. You thought he was lying. I can reveal that he was telling the truth. No, he wasn't. He was lying. He was lying.
There's no way. Man, I would have turned 450 degrees and walked away. There's no way.
450, so you would have taken a right, or what is that?
Yeah, I would have gone this way.
Oh, I thought you meant you would have like gone up in body temperature. That's what I got from that.
That would have been cool.
450 degrees.
Exploded.
And then on to Andy, who was the passenger in a hit and run. You thought he was telling the truth. I can reveal that Andy was telling the truth. You were totally right about that. You nailed it, Eric, which means that you get 2 points for that performance. And the audience, you thought Larry was the one who went around in a gorilla outfit, and I can reveal it was Larry who went around in a gorilla outfit. You get 2 points. And we actually have a photo of Larry in the gorilla outfit. Yeah, we do. If we could, there he is. There's the man wearing the gorilla suit and a really dope hat too.
Yeah, it makes way more sense than Larry 450, honestly.
I'm only calling you Larry 450 from now on, though.
I love it.
450.
I'm only calling me Larry 450 from now on.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Larry 450.
To actually hear about the gorilla story, actually to hear about any of the 3 stories, because despite someone telling the truth, we didn't really hear the story. We'll hear all about those in Chump Change, which is our post show. So you got to be a first member. You can watch that and hear all those true stories. All right. So thanks to HBO Max for sponsoring this episode of Chump. A new season of Doom Patrol is coming to HBO Max, and you can watch the first 3 episodes of season 1 on Rooster Teeth starting June 22nd. DC's weirdest heroes are back for more bizarre adventures, and now you can watch part of season 1 on our website ahead of season 2, which premieres on HBO Max June 25th, available only to US viewers. Doom Talkers premieres June 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We're breaking down episodes of season 1 with a special Doom Patrol post show starring Ryan Haywood, Fiona Nova, Alfredo Diaz, and John Reisinger. And you love all of them. I know you do. Watch the episodes and talk Doom Patrol with the Doom Talkers. Binge it all at once. We'll be dropping 3 episodes from season 1 of Doom Patrol coming to Rooster Teeth on June 22nd. And stream the Doom Drop from start to finish with special post-show Doom Talkers, available only to US viewers. Doom Patrol Season 2 premieres June 25th on HBO Max, so start your free trial today. hbomax.com/Doom-Patrol. Watch the first season of Doom Patrol now on HBO Max and catch the Season 2 premiere on June 25th. Thank you, HBO Max. This game
What happened to your green screen?
Really interesting.
What happened to your green screen, man?
That's crazy.
I freaked out. I freaked out halfway through that game. I shouldn't have.
Why?
And I'll just tape this up. It'll be fine. See?
Oh, there you go.
Weird.
Yeah.
Now let go of it. Oh, there it goes.
But we're gonna sort out who will win in our final game, which is called Just the Facts. It is all down to this. I have one true fact about one of our deceivers, but all 3 of them are going to be defending the fact as if it is their own. Eric will question each deceiver up to my discretion before having to move on to the next person. And here is the fact. One of our 3 deceivers was almost cast in a reality television show. So all 3 of them are going to be claiming that they were almost cast on a reality television show. Audience, you can vote. # Drew, # Larry, # Andy for who you think it's truly about, but probably want to hear the stories first. So, Eric, who are you going for here?
I got to go left to right again, boss. It's got to start with Drew.
All right, right down the line. Let's start with Drew. And you can begin your questioning whenever you like.
Drew, what show were you almost cast in?
It only went to pilot, so it never actually appeared on TV.
I rolled eyes up when spoke. Got it. And what was the plot of the show?
It was like Road Rules, but for like younger, like college age kids.
Which is what Road Rules is. Interesting. So what channel was this supposed to be on, even though it was just a pilot?
A&E.
And started with okay, that's fine. Sure. So what was like was this like a bunch of people that would have been cast? Were you in like a late round and they just didn't film it? Like what was
it was the round right before filming started. So I got all the way to the end and then tapped out right at the end. It was like the last 20 called. So
Did it ever get shot?
The pilot did.
Yeah.
But the rest
Yeah.
of it.
Well, was there a name of this show? Maybe
I don't
something
think
they called it. No. Oh, interesting. There's no name for the show.
No, it was
the
like an
name of the show
untitled
is what Drew was on, guys. I see.
Untitled A&E road trip show was what the NDA said.
Oh, NDA road trip show. Sounds
all right, Eric.
Up.
I
think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to move on, Jeremy. Honestly.
Okay. So we're going to move on to Larry. You're going down the line still?
Oh, I think I'm going to Larry. Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's head on to Larry. Eric, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay, great. Hey, Larry, what kind of show were you on?
I believe it was going to be King of the Nerds on TBS.
And you didn't get cast. But you didn't get cast for it.
I made it to finals casting. They flew me out to California. They put me up in a hotel. I did a bunch of stuff there, but then I got sent home a couple days later.
And what were you going to be doing on this show?
It was kind of like a nerd version of Survivor. So a bunch of dumb idiot nerds like me being like, oh, what's better, Star Wars or Star Trek? With some physical challenges thrown in, some like nerd celebrities, usually like Felicia Day, Will Wheaton types. It was hosted by people who were in Revenge of the Nerds, hence why the King of the Nerds name. But didn't make it.
Last question before I move on, Larry. Is Star Wars or Star Trek?
I believe when I had to fill out the essay, I said neither Futurama, but nowadays I'd say Star Wars.
Damn.
Host,
right.
Dad, I'm ready to move on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Which means that we are left with Andy, almost cast in a reality television show. Eric, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Andy, what day do you guys typically tape KFAF? So like your morning show with Nick, is that like
it's usually Fridays, and then we end up going live on Wednesday.
Oh, that's interesting. So you do tape on Fridays. So there are shows on Friday.
Well, no, we don't go live on Friday. It's because we
No.
have to edit it.
No. I'm not asking. I certainly didn't ask what day you go live. I certainly didn't. I asked what day you tape.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. So that's a show with guests occasionally.
It's on a very rare circumstance. They have to be of a certain caliber.
But there are. But what you're telling me is there are guests.
Yeah, I mean, when it's Troy Baker, we'll get him on the show. Sure. Yeah.
I was at a panel once and we switched panel rooms with Troy Baker. So, interesting little factoid about me, I guess, which I could expect. Well, I mean, I could tell you more about on KFAF. No big deal, whatever. So were you on a reality show or what happened?
I wasn't on a reality show, but I was almost cast to be on The Real World.
Oh, okay. All right. Dad, we're done here.
Okay. Got it. All right.
I want to talk more.
Audience, you can get your
You
votes
can
in
on
now.
Friday
you
when you take Kind of Funny AF, apparently.
Eric, all right, is looking around, you don't have to give your final answer yet. Is there anyone you completely don't believe, anyone you're leaning toward?
Yeah, Larry. Don't trust him.
You don't believe Larry. Okay.
Yeah.
I read your paper.
Trust Larry.
Please, this is a face for television. Or almost a face for television.
I think Larry saw a TBS show one time and he went, I'll just tell people I was on that. And then that's it.
And I'll go for that one. What do you think about Andy?
He's shifty, and I don't know if I believe him. However,
all right,
Drew had a lot to be desired about the show that he pretended to know about.
Interesting. All right, well, audience, we are locking in your votes. So you are done for the night. Votes have been cast, and we will see. God damn it.
What happened to your green screen?
I put tape on it, and clearly it wasn't enough.
Oh,
Jerry, what happened with
packing
it, though?
tape didn't do the job? Crazy.
Yeah, well, it's what I got around. I used it to put reticles on my screen for Lasso because there's no reticle. I had to tape my screen and draw a reticle. All right.
That's so cool.
I'm impressed that you have two green screens. Because this isn't just one falling down, it's one and then a second one.
No, this is a crop. See, that's not real.
Just crop in a little bit more.
Or are you putting your hand behind the second green screen?
That's what I think it is.
Eric, we need to lock in an answer for you. Who's
the liar?
Who almost got caught or caught? Who almost got cast for a reality? My brain is fried. Who is it?
I think
Eric?
you just got caught, Jeremy. I'm gonna say Andy was almost cast on The Real World because I think maybe it was Drew. I think maybe it was Drew, but I think I'm gonna go with Andy. I'm gonna lock that in. I'm gonna lock in
Andy. We are locking in Andy. All right, audience, let's see who you thought was almost cast in a reality TV show.
Ouch.
Ooh, very
13%
close.
for Drew.
No one went
voting
through on
broken?
that one.
They're only voting for me.
Only by 3%. That was very close. They went for Larry there on that one.
Jeremy, you're almost done. We're almost through this.
Dude, this has shocked my brainstem. Like I just can't even tell you what this episode has done to me. Eric week will be a week to remember.
And it continues Thursday on Off Topic and Friday on Kinda Funny.
Okay, all right, we gotta see. And I can reveal that the person who was actually almost cast in a reality television show was Larry Mattavina. Larry was the one. You got that one wrong.
Got chopped.
Suck it.
Gotcha.
Oh, no.
Larry 450.
I got
you.
chumped.
450.
You just got 450.
You got 450. Audience, that means you got that one right. You nailed it, which means that's 1 point for the audience, 1 for the deceivers, none for Eric. Which means at the end of this amazing Eric Week episode of Chump, Eric Fodor is tonight's Chump. Thank God. My God. What happened? That's broken. I gotta fix that. Andy didn't even speak.
I feel like Jerry might have been the chump this week, to be honest. Like, if we could all agree.
Call me
I
Jerry?
feel like Jeremy. I said Jeremy.
All right, take us home, Jerry.
Guys, thank you for joining. Next week is going to be the season finale of Chump, and thank you very much for joining for this season. We have a post show called Chump Change for first members only, where we will talk about the true stories that we didn't get to hear for whatever reason. And yeah, we will
I so
be back.
badly wanted Jeremy to go, today is the season finale. Fuck that. Today's the
It's over. It's done. We got 7
Never
episodes this season. Oh man. All right, guys. We will we'll see you next week. Thank you to all my deceivers. Thank you to my contestant, and thank you to you, the audience. Remember to not trust Larry, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and enduring Eric with me. Next week is going to be the season finale, so make sure to go sign up on the Rooster Teeth site to make sure that you can play along during that finale. It's free, and you just got to jump in the chat at 5 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. It's going to be a blast, and we'll see you there.